Hi friends, it's Laura. I am back with a what sold this week video for you again. Yay! Because I did have a whatnot show this week, which is extra good because otherwise, considering nice sales on all the other platforms this week, I might have had to go 2 weeks in a row without really giving you a video. But my whatnot show today was great. I don't know how it was great because I was like a zombie. I was just totally like, couldn't get it together, but I still had a really nice show. So I made a total of $486 in sales before fees. After fees, that should come out to about $421. So thank goodness, because I really need it. I have 26 items that sold. 13 of them are going to repeat buyers, and 8 of them are going to first-time buyers. So that's very exciting. For today's video, I'm just going to be showing you what sold. I'm not going to wrap it up on camera because I don't know why. I'm just not. So, but we have some really, really, really cute stuff. I'm very excited about it. So let's get into it. Item number 1 is this. This is going to a first-time buyer. This is the only item they purchased, was this cute little sort of leopard print shirt. This sold for $15. There's the tag. I feel like I just showed you this in a haul video, but there it is again. So very exciting. Yay. Next is another first-time buyer who purchased one item from me. Oh, so excited about this too. This is somebody who's saying that they've been in the past, they've seen this in other shows and they've been thinking about it, but they finally bought it today. This is like a 70s. It's got a very 30s vibe to it. It's gorgeous. There's no tags. Just a really long evening gown type of situation. And it has this fantastic sequin applique thing on it. It's so cool. This sold for $15, which is fantastic because that's what I priced it at. And so I can't complain if it doesn't sell for more. But like also, I feel like I would have put that on Etsy for closer to, I don't know, maybe 80, which might have been out of line. I don't know. It was so pretty when it was on, and maybe I'm just partial to the color. I don't know, but it was really nice. Next up, this was the star of my show that also gave me some minor heart palpitations because, so hold on, I've got it all tussled up here. This dress, which is this phenomenal mesh sheer dress with these like ladies on it, these like very 20s looking ladies. They're so cool, and the metallic threads and everything. This is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this so much. I had this with a starting bid of $20. Before I started my show this morning, it had 4 pre-bids. It was up to 32, so I was very excited about that. There's no tags in this. I feel like it's probably 90s, but it definitely has like a 70s vibe. So it got bid up to $88, which was like amazing. And then the payment was failing, and it was failing, and then failing, and then failing. And I know that Whatnot has it set up so that as long as you resolve the payment issue before the show ends, then it's fine. But usually when someone's payment fails, it typically gets resolved within like, 2-3 minutes, right? Like I'm sure people get the notification, they go and they fix it, whatever. This took a really long time. And I was very nervous. I was like, oh, I feel like that's not going to sell. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do if it didn't get resolved, because there was somebody in the show who's like a regular buyer who also was trying to purchase it and didn't win the auction. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I could offer it to her. But like it wouldn't be as included in the shipping with the other stuff that she bought, because you have to wait till the show ends, And then I thought, or I could just run it again next week and see what happens. But they finally got the payment resolved. So I'm very relieved about that. That was a new to me buyer. That is the only item that they purchased from me. So hopefully they're happy with it. It's such a cool dress. Next is another new to me buyer purchased one item. And let me see if I can find it. I mean, I can find it. It's here somewhere. There it is. It was this eagle belt. And right, cool. It's like a leather belt with the eagle on it. It's very cool. This sold for $22. I think I started it at $15. So it was interesting because I had run it once, nobody bid. Somebody then requested to see it and asked about measurements. So I told them the measurements, and then I just ran it as I usually do. And then it was getting bid by more than one person. And so the person who requested to see it actually didn't win, and they seemed a little upset about it. But you know, I don't know, I feel bad, but what am I going to do? But that sold for $22. So that was fun. Happy about that. Next up is a repeat buyer for me who purchased 3 items. And so the first is this little t-shirt. This is just some goofy t-shirt I got at an estate sale, Assumption School. And I listed this for $5. I feel like that's exactly what it sold for. Let's see. Yep, $5, right? Yes. My eyes must be dry today or something because I'm having a problem seeing stuff. And if you're always like, you often have, I don't always have a problem seeing stuff. It's like intermittent. And I think it's just if my eyes are a little dry. I don't know why I feel like I need to justify that to YouTube. But anyway, this skirt sold. This is like an accordion pleat skirt. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So that's nice. And then the third item that this buyer purchased was another little cutie, this little tank top camisole thing, which I believe I also sold for $5. I think that's what I started the bidding at. Yes, $5. So just a cute little camisole top. So there it is. $5. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 3 items from me. So first is this little yellow and white sweater, which is really cute. This is in like an 80s era. And here's the tag. The tag is marked 2X. I don't know what, I mean, look at that. This is not a 2X. Like, I don't know in what world that's the appropriate sizing for that. But anyway, started the bidding at 15. It sold for 15. So that was cool. The second item that they purchased was this romper, blue floral romper. Blue and purple flowers. It's really cute. Just a little shorty shorts romper. And this is the tag. It's so cute. And this sold for, I think, 15 as well. Yes, 15. And then the third item that this buyer purchased, was this very cute 2-piece set. I've had this thing sitting around for 8 million years. And the only reason that I didn't have it listed way sooner was because the elastic in the waistband of the skirt was like a little worn out and I was going to replace it. And it actually ended up being way easier than I thought because the elastic still had stretch. It just like was just like not very tight, you know? But it's this chiffon skirt and then this cute little sort of peasant-y kind of blouse over it. And so I opened it up and instead of pulling all the elastic out, I just kind of shortened it. And now it's much more appropriate. So that was a really easy fix, thank God. But I've had this thing for so long. Anyway, sold this and this sold for 15, which is what I started the bidding at. So you too can purchase items, have them sitting in your house for 6 months, need 15 minutes of repair and sell them for $15. It's totally worth it. It is worth it. Honestly, cumulatively, it's worth it. Please don't take any of this as being a sign of like, don't buy from me because it's definitely worth it. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased these pants. I've had them for a while, in and out of shows. They're amazing, and they're just small, right? So these, I think they're like a 26-inch waist, but look at this. Phenomenal. And these sold for $20, which is what I started the bidding at. Here is the tag. Ursula. They're so cool. I love these. All right, let's see. Move y'all down there a little bit. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased 1 item. It is this that I got at that really big estate sale I went to recently. It's this Asian print kind of top. This is a plus size item. I think I estimated it like a 2X. It's got a really cool print on it. Here is the tag. And this sold for 15. Is this it? Let me see. Yes, $15. Starting to lose my mind. Sorry. All right, let's see. Next up is a repeat buyer for me who purchased 1 item. It is this slip that I dyed myself. It's really cool. Sort of apricot color. The dye job on this is a little bit uneven. I was saying during the show that like this kind of stuff, I love like wearing, like, this is a lace dress that I have on today. So it's all sheer lace. And so then I just wear like a cute little colored slip underneath it. And it's always fun to have a good collection of colored slips to stick under your various crochet and lace dresses, I guess. Anyway, really cute. And this is like a 50s era, maybe. It's that cold rayon. There's the tag. It's very faded, but it's cute. And this sold for, let's see, $10, which I felt was, you know, good. I normally would list something like that for 15, but because the color was a little funky, I did it at 10. Next up is a repeat buyer for me. She purchased 3 items. Very excited about all 3 of them. I'm always very excited about all of the sales, basically. The first is this shirt that I've had in a few shows. I think it's so cool. It's like this 70s era, like a fun little print, right? And there's the tag. And this one sold for 15. And then next up is this shirt. I had this shirt in a bunch of shows way back. Look at this. Look at this print. This is so cute. The little tulips and chickens. Like, I don't know if these are eggs or something. It's so freaking adorable, right? Then here's this tag. And this sold for probably 15. I had this in a ton of shows for a while. I didn't know why it wasn't selling. I think it's adorable. And then I pulled it out and I almost kept it. I was going to keep it. I don't remember why I didn't. I just didn't end up keeping it. And then it just was like hidden away somewhere. And I just recently came across it again. And so I stuck it in today's show as like a new item because it's been so long since it's been in a show. So that was really fun. I'm happy that found a new home. And then this bag that I got at a yard sale a while back. I have not dealt with most of the stuff from that yard sale, but anyway, I'm glad something from it sold. This sold for 15 as well. So I'm happy about that. And then, my gosh, I still have all of these to go. Let's see. Next up, oh, that's why we have all of these to go. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased 7 items. So this is very exciting. They got a bunch of good stuff too. So first up, they got this silk skirt set, which I think is really pretty. It's another, there's so much stuff that just looks so much better when it's on a body. This is one of those pieces. It's got like this nice little like nipped in waist and it kind of goes like off the shoulder a little bit. It's so cute. This sold for $20, which I think is what I started it at. And I believe that's because I probably paid a little much for this when I bought it, like $8 or $9 when I purchased it. So I started that at 20. Then she purchased this little secretary style blouse, which I think is so cute. This is 15. And then look at the colors on that. It's so pretty. It's got this great little cowl neck and it looked really cute. Like, you know, I tried it on with like a high-waisted skirt. So it was kind of, you know, one of these. It just looked adorable. So, and that sold for 15. And then she also got this shirt, which, you know, I think this is really cute. And of course, I love anything 70s and that collar is great. But if you may recall, when I bought this, one of the reasons I bought it was because it still had the little spare buttons dangling on here by a thread. And I felt like I needed to rescue it. I don't know, you know, anyway. So this sold for 15. I think I paid a little too much for this. I think I paid like around $8. I also have the dress version of this, but for the dress version, I think I paid $10 for it. And same reason, it had the little spare buttons. And then I got it home. I'm like, why did I pay this much? Like, I don't feel right putting the dress version up on Whatnot for $20. I'm kind of losing money if I put it up for 15. So I was just going to save it and put it directly on Etsy or whatever, which I, of course, have not done yet because hi. Next up is this top. This was a nice little surprise for me. This is a really cute little shirt. This like 70s acrylic knit. This was in the show, whatever the last show was that I did, and it didn't sell in that show. I started it at 15 and it ended up getting bid up to 21, which again, I recognize that's not like a $1 jillion jump, but for me, that's a lot of bidding activity on this cute little shirt. So I was very happy about that. Let's see. Then the next item that this buyer purchased was this dress that I love. It's like a cotton batik. Again, looks really good on. Like on the hanger, it's like it's fine. But it's a really pretty cotton dress. It has a metal zipper, but it's like such a fine gauge metal zipper. It's really interesting. So pretty. Anyway, I know there's no tags in this. And this sold for $15, which is what I started it at. I can't believe it sold for $15. I felt like this would be like, I don't know what's going on outside. I thought that would get some more bidding, but that's okay that it didn't. I feel like you definitely have to start your pieces where you're okay if it doesn't get bid up, especially, you know, for my shows, the majority of the time I'm selling things for the starting bids. So this shirt, very adorable little 90s era metallic tank top thingy. This sold for, I bet you can't guess, $15. Yes. Okay. It's just a price point that seems to work well for me. So it's high enough that I'm making some money, but low enough that I think it still keeps people attracted. And then the final item this buyer purchased was this 2-piece set, which I did start at $20 because it's freaking awesome. And I can't remember how much I paid. I do think I paid a little more, but for a 2-piece set, that's not terrible. Like I think I paid $8 or $9, but it's got this little pointel knit polyester up top and the cowl neck. Very cool. And that sold for $20. All right, now we're almost done. Okay. So next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 2 items. Both of these I love. Okay. First is this little goose mini skirt thing. I don't know what the original intention with this was. This is like a slip kind of material, like a 70s kind of nylon slip. Maybe this was acetate actually, but it's so freaking cute, but it's so short. I was able to model it, but like it was just barely covering the goods, you know? And so I know that the person who purchased this though is smaller than me. So freaking cute. And this sold, I had this listed starting at 15, and this actually got bid up to 27, which like I was surprised about. I think it's adorable. I think it's so much fun, but to have, you know, in a Whatnot show with such a small audience, like, I mean, I know you only need 2 people to get it bid up, but you know, so that was a fun little surprise for me. And then the second item that this buyer purchased were these pants. So when I got these, I have a friend who like loves this shit. And I totally thought of her when I bought it, but like, I think that they're goofy looking and I'm like, whatever, look at these fucking weirdo. I mean, I'm partially probably because I lived through this era, you know, and it was like very like meatheads at Gold's Gym kind of pants to me. But I bought them because I knew that they would sell on like eBay or whatever. And I decided to put them in the Whatnot show and I tried them on to model them. And I'm like, I don't want to keep these pants. They're so comfortable. Like really, like I came close, but I have so many pants, but they were really comfortable. And then I thought like, okay, I'll stick them in the show. And if they don't sell, then I'll keep them. And of course they sold. I think they had a pre-bid on them also. And they actually sold for $18. I started them at 15. So I hope you enjoy them or sell them as usual, but they're super funny. And just, I thought that I got a kick out of the fact that I wanted to keep them. Cause I thought that I was like, oh God, these like Goomba pants, you know? All right. And now the final item that I sold is this really cute dress. This is a modern piece, but it's got like a very Lagan look kind of style to it. I called it a dress, but because it looks like a dress right now, right? But when I modeled it, this slit ended halfway up my butt cheek. So I was like, okay, well, it's not a dress. I guess it's like a layering kind of piece. I mean, it could be a dress maybe on somebody who is shorter and or smaller, but it's really cool. This brand, hold on, where did we go? It's called like Skiff or something. There's that tag. And I'll show you the other tag because it's fancy. Look how fancy that looks. I don't know what the seed for piece is. I looked it up and I wasn't finding anything under Skiff seed for piece. It was like Skiffo or Skiffo, something like that. Anyway, this sold for $20. So that was awesome. And that's the only piece that that buyer purchased. And that's everything that I sold during my Whatnot show. So thank goodness, because I definitely needed the money after skipping last week. I'm very relieved that I had a successful show. And I've started setting up next week's show already, and I'm excited about the pieces that are going to be in that. So, and of course, everybody wanted to buy my belt again today. I need to stop wearing this belt for shows because people keep wanting to buy it, and then I feel bad. But also, oops. Also, look, it looks cute with this dress. Anyway, what am I saying? I'm not closing this. You got to see the other probably 2 things that sold on the other platforms, but I did still sell stuff. And you're going to hold on and see what it is in just a second. All right, are you ready for some completely dismal sales results? Thank God for Whatnot. That's all I'm saying. Oh, my goodness, this is bleak. So we're going to start off with Etsy, as I always do. And let me shrink myself up here a little bit for you. So first up is this adorable little blouse that I have. This sold to a repeat customer on Etsy, and I have Etsy send out a little thank you coupon to buyers. So this was listed for $39. It's a cute little like Y2K era top. Cute little flutter sleeve, adorable. Here's the tag, just nicky bicky, cute. I had it listed for $39. The coupon was for 25% off, so it sold for $29.25. I paid $4.08 in shipping, and so I made 25 bucks on this. I apparently just wrote 25. I understand that that's not an exact number. That's what I wrote down. So I'm not redoing that math. There we go. Next up is these. So these pants I've had for a little while. I got them at an estate sale. When I bought them, I thought they were a skirt, but as you can see, they were palazzo pants. So that was a really fun surprise. I think I even realized while I was doing the haul video that they were pants and not a skirt. So these are cold rayon, 1940s era. They're just really, really pretty. What do I have here? That's the metal zipper. But, you know, you can just see like that's construction that I just stick in there, you know, for era. Here are just really pretty additional photos. And let's see. So I had these pants listed for $295. They sold, somebody used a coupon on Etsy for 20% off, which would be like an abandoned cart or a favorited coupon. So they sold for $236. They were shipping internationally, so I did not pay any shipping on these. So I made $236 on these, which is lovely and saved my week, quite frankly. Let's see. And then next on Etsy is this big hug mug. So I also, as you may recall, I got this really recently at an estate sale, and not an estate sale. I got it at a little church thrift store. And the last time I had sold one of these mugs, I was probably listing them for around $24, I think, including shipping. So they actually seem to go for a lot more now. I listed it at $39, including shipping. There were some on Etsy that were going for as much as like $50. And I say going for it, they were listed for $50. So I went with $39, including shipping, because I figured, great, it sells for that. It obviously did. I paid, there was no coupon used, so it just sold for $39. I paid $6.45 in shipping, so I made $32.55 on this mug. I think I paid like $1 for it. So that was a really fun find, and I was happy about that. They do reproduce this mug now. So on the bottom of this one, this is what the, you know, it was put out by FTD, which is some florist. I can't remember what FTD stands for. There are other versions where it's marked on the bottom like this, but if you find one of these in the wild, just look and make sure that the bottom says that it's FTD, and then it's legit. Otherwise, like, I know they're reproducing them on Amazon and crap, because I noticed that when I was looking up comps. That was it for Etsy for the week. That was fantastic. Now we're going to move on to eBay, which was more bleak, but still. First up, we have these panties. These are Victoria's Secret. So this like little blue panel here, that's second skin satin, but on these panties, that's kind of the only part that was second skin satin. So I wasn't sure how these were going to do. I listed them at $49. I think that I sent out an offer for 25% off. So these actually sold for $39.20. There was no shipping paid by me. The shipping was paid by the buyer. So I made $39.29. And then my final sale, which is like, this one's just kind of laughable, but whatever. This happens sometimes. Is this Carol Little blouse. I do not remember where I got this. I think I got it in some kind of estate sale as well. There was one a while back where I got a lot of older stuff, but they also had a lot of Carol Little. And I think I got this as maybe part of what I thought was a set or whatever. You can see it's just like a plain purple top, right? Short sleeve, nothing happening at all. So I listed it on eBay for $14.99. That's how long it's been. I don't do like 99-cent endings anymore, but I've had it listed quite a while. Somebody sent me an offer for $11. So I was like, yes, please, and thank you. The buyer paid shipping, so I made $11 on that. And you know, that was my week. That was my week. So hopefully I'm going to get it together a little bit more this week. I have not been doing a ton of listing. I was dealing with overwhelm from that estate sale, and then I had like some other stuff going on just unrelated to reselling, and I've just been very out of it as far as listing on any platforms. So having a nice whatnot sale this week was a huge relief, and now I'm going to get to work on doing some stuff for Etsy and eBay and all of that, and hopefully get some of those sales cranking out again a little bit. And that's it. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see y'all again soon. And I'm going to figure out how to stop this now. Bye.